Hi, my name is Jesse Kindig. This is my Intro to EDL 853 video. So, a little about me. I live currently in Montrose, Colorado. That's on the western slope. I graduated from Sterling College in Kansas, so many of you that are over there, I know exactly where you're at. I've been married to my wife for 5 years now. We actually just had our first child this Wednesday, so I'm a little late getting started to it. Pretty tired. If I probably don't look my best right now, but we're very excited about that. This is my fourth year teaching, going into my fourth year teaching. I taught 1 year fourth grade in Hutchinson, Kansas, at Avenue A, and then moved out here to Delta, and I taught fourth grade again, and then fifth grade this year, and then they just moved me back to fifth grade again to stay up there and help lead that program. We had a couple teachers retire, and my plan was to go somewhere else to get as much experience as possible, but they asked me to stay, so that's what we'll do. Right now, my roles kind of around schools. I am the current fifth grade team leader, so that entails going to all the different meetings that kind of coincide with making decisions and things like that. We are starting a new math program, so me and two others are kind of heading that. It it's interesting. It's kind of like taking a shot in the dark a little bit. It's brand new. It's only our second year doing it. It's a very difficult program, but we're seeing big results. So this is kind of a big deal. Lots of people come to you, and I kind of have to be on the game. I hate giving them I don't know answers. So if I do have an I don't know answer, I have to go and find it. And then I am also coaching coming on my third year of coaching football, which is great. You get to see these kids grow through the program, and you get to kind of the best of both worlds. Right now, my hobbies are just hunting and dirt biking, sledding, and family time. Out here, if anyone's been to the western slope of Colorado, if you're not an outdoors person, this isn't really the place for you. It's mountains right at your doorstep. You've got the adobes, you've got fishing and wildlife and hiking and everything you could possibly want and more here. So, something about Delta. So I currently teach in Delta County at Lincoln Elementary, and that is in the western slope part of Colorado, like I talked about. Some information about them. The poverty rate, or the population rate, I'm sorry, is about 30,500, right around in there. We sense some things that go back and forth. We've had some mines closed due to some restrictions and stuff, and with some of the laws that are being passed now, we may see some of those open, so we may see that number grow. Our poverty rate is about 18, fluctuates anywhere from 18 to 25% in the last 5 years. Graduation rate's pretty well. We take pride in this. 88%. It's something we do. We take pride in, and that we kind of brag about in our meetings. Sorry. So we have about a 94% Caucasian in the area, 5% Latino, and 1% others. And we do have a fairly high ELL population, to where they speak more than English is not their first language. So something about Lincoln, great school, about 500 students. It's a K-5 school. It's one of two schools in Delta County, or I guess let me rephrase that, in the Delta City. Delta County has about 7 elementaries, which is an issue that we are trying to deal with. It's a little much for a rural area. We average about 3 teachers per grade level. First grade's 5 teachers, and we are currently 4, but we'll be dropping 1 this year in 5th grade. We are kind of the base for severe needs students. We have teachers and rooms that are designed and trained specifically to them. We are a test pilot school for the Go Math program that I mentioned earlier, and we're one of the 2 schools in Delta, and we're building a reputation back in our community. At one point in time, the other elementary school was kind of where I don't want to say rich, but the well-known kids went, or the popular families, the well-off families, and then the poor and the minorities went here, and you're starting to see a big change in that. We're trying to meet the needs of everybody and build that relationship that our schools are equal here, and we're working at the same goal. We focus big time on lifelong skills. So, we talk a lot about, we want you to go to college, but maybe college isn't for everybody. What can we do to get you ready for the real world? Okay, because a lot of people may not go to college. A lot of people may just get right to the workforce. We need to make sure they're ready for that and they have the skills for that. And then the first thing we've done this year is a school-wide movement. Every morning, the whole school, K through 5, gets together and we do different activities and get our brains moving, kind of a brain break idea. So, a critical reflection. I believe my school is working very hard to identify and fit the needs of every student with a learning disability. They do this by the following: providing push-in rather than pull-out as much as possible. That's still a big issue, but that is a big emphasis that they work on. We go through the MTSS process for every student before they're given an IEP, which allows for correct identification, correct modifications, and just it leaves little room for error if we go through the MTSS process for every student, not just like, oh, they have learning disability, IEP. You go through the process, it's much cleaner. Every student's IEP lists strategies, prompts, and accommodations that have been requested and identified by all parties in the IEP. And this document goes through the schools grade to grade to grade until maybe that person graduates out of it. This helps teachers big time. What does this student need? What are their disabilities? What can I do to help them? And we get that every year before we start school for our kids. We also have alternative curriculum, so pull out, and then we have a severe needs room and a resource room depending on your child's needs. So personal use, things I think I do well. I would do a lot of small group instruction. I teach math and social studies. We have a rotating 5th grade. So when I do small group instruction, I have my basic math lesson and I break up into small groups because I want to get those kids grouped together so that I can help the ones that need it. We do a lot of project-based learning. So we teach a lesson and then we build projects. And I feel like we did one just got done with this one. We saw dramatic growth in our kids in fractions. We fulfill all IEP accommodations. That's a district-wide expectation as well as a statewide and a legal-wide expectation. Assess daily for understanding to help figure out where we're at so that we can hopefully go build an understanding of whether our kids are struggling or not, which then can lead into maybe an MTSS process. We're in the process of building a basic skills quiz for new students that come in. We can give them this quick short quiz, shows if they have any gaps or lack of understanding, and then we can go into the identification of, is it just didn't get taught that? Is it just a hole, or is it a learning disability? We use a lot of technology for math facts, things like that. We have behavior plans, and then we have really limited homework this year to help with frustration with parents and students. Things I think I need to get better at: too many kids slip through the crack. Too many times I see a lot of kids, and too many times it's hard to identify people. Not enough pushing. We have very limited help, and so a lot of our kids that have higher needs, they're just pulled out because we just don't have the resources to give them extra help. The MTSS process is way too long in my opinion. I'm working on one right now that's been in the works for 4 months now, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. Hard to adapt to all the needs during testing in the new math program, so we're being trained in that. But right now, the math program's pretty cut and dry, and we're not super trained in that, so we're trying to understand that better. And we have limited resources and programs at our school to help with math and reading. Okay. So here's my proposed plan. I tried to identify each of those here. Staff is getting better at identifying possible learning disabilities. We meet monthly on ways to identify, okay, is this kid struggling, or is this a learning disability? Is this a gap, or is this a learning disability? Is this something to be concerned about, or is this just a bad day? Helping us understand what's what. MTSS process is a legal process, so not much can change, but I have noticed if everyone in that process is working together with the kids' best interest, things move a lot faster. The last 4 months, that has not been the case, which has caused my new student to basically not get what she needs. Principal is working on budget items to get more paras to help for push-in next year, so with this, many students can have push-in rather than pull-out. We will be having a training on how to utilize the GoMath and its resources to its full potential this summer. So us three that are the heads of that GoMath program, they'll send us out, and hopefully we can bring back lots of good information. And last but not least, reading teachers are being trained in Barton this summer, and like I said, GoMath intervention this summer. So hopefully these are some proposed plans that will lead us to utilize and use the MTSS process, the IEP process, and the special education process much better. I do believe our school does a really nice job. I think we have two of the best special education teachers in the area. They work their tails off and they work very hard with us through collaboration and work, and whether it be push in, pull out alternative curriculum. I'm hats off to them. I think they do a really nice job. Standards addressed. So the first one, the PSEL, I did the 7C, establish and sustain a professional culture of engagement and commitment to shared visions, goals, and objectives pertaining to the education of the whole child, high expectations of professional work, ethical and equitable practice, trust and open communication, collaboration, collective efficiency, and continuous individual and organizational learning and improvement in ISTE 4B. All right, I look forward to working with all of you. Thanks.